You're watching the Chaos Protocol on Transplanar RPG, an all-transgender, people of color-led dark fantasy TTRPG show set in an original non-colonial, anti-Orientalist multiverse. If you like what you see, please consider pledging to our Patreon to support the show and get access to a patron-only after-show, early podcast episodes, GM notes, character sheets, and even the chance for your tabletop OC to cameo in our series. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy. The Chaos Protocol is a dark fantasy series that may contain content that is triggering for some viewers. Content warnings for this episode include fantasy violence, grief, romance, references to sex, complex character dynamics, medical situations, absurdism, disreality, fire, heights, falling, and body horror. Arc 2 Interlude, The Hitchhiker. Kimani, how often do you dream?
Not often. I like to think every night, but I don't remember most of them.
Do you love it? Dreaming?
No, not really. I wish I did. I usually talk to people and they say it's supposed to be a pleasant thing, unless you have a nightmare.
Well, Kimani, all that being said, dreams or nightmares, let's say dream. This place looks exactly like it did in your dream. Every single detail is as promised. The vast, ever-changing corridors, the chambers woven from light and magic and wood and stone, the people, infinite in their diversity, breathless in their beauty and complexity, just like the people of every other place you've ever been, which is quite a few. So it comes as no challenge to you to walk that path all the way off that cliff you saw in your dreams. And as you tread down the hallways, the people of this place pay you no mind. Not because they don't see you, not because they don't care about you even, but because they assume you belong here. And why wouldn't they? The way in which these people carry themselves makes you think that infiltration is not a rare occurrence, it's an impossible one. Whatever this place is, it cannot be entered unless it wants you to. But you're Kimani, so the rules don't exactly work the same for you. And we find you now rounding the corner into a hallway where the floor is polished hardwood with a tongue of intricately woven fabric. One of these walls is diamond. The other is stone and has a door set into it, a door with a handsome timber frame. Coming out of that door is him, the man you saw in your dreams. Well, not a man exactly, but also not quite a god. You're not sure what he is really, but he is beautiful, and he's tall, and he's wearing full plate armor and carrying a massive guandao across his back with a jade blade. His back is to you, not because he doesn't know you're there, he definitely knows you're there, but because he assumes you belong there, just like everyone else in this place. Which is great news for you, because you're not here for him. You're here for what's in his office. What's in the box, which called to you in your dreams, told you how to find it, how to get here. At least, that's maybe what you tell yourself, because your dreams don't ever actually tell you to do things. There are no instructions handed to you. You just see things through them. But what's the difference, really, between being instructed and being shown? And does a difference even matter for someone like you, the luckiest person in the multiverse? And so, you step into Han Wuyin's office, though you don't know that's his name, at least not yet, and you retrieve the box from a beautiful shelf behind a beautiful desk in a beautiful room filled with beautiful things. And you are 1 foot out the door when your lucky streak finally ends. Because that's when Strike Team Nova finds you, and that's where we jump back to the present. So Kimani, please roll 10d6 fire damage for me.
Excuse me, how much?
It's 10d6 fire damage.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, is
What
that
the fuck?
11d6?
Oh, get the fuck
so.
out of here.
You know what? That's 11d6. My bad. Roll 11d6 fire damage for me, please.
This is the most affectionate middle finger I've ever given in my entire life, right here.
We're playing a casual D6 system. What's happening?
Oh, that's a really nice number.
What is it?
What is it?
So I
50,
hate you.
even.
Affectionate.
50. Okay, an even 50. So, Seir, because Kimani flipped a tails for you, you take the full 50 fire damage.
Great.
Okay, Lumièra and Xainan, because Kimani flipped heads for the two of you, you succeed on your saving throw and you take half of that, which is 25 fire damage. So the fire does spread around corners, it ignites flammable objects in the area that aren't being worn or carried. Kimani, what does it look like as you cast Fireball?
Yeah, so I had all eyes on the book, and this is almost like a spellbook. It's more like a notebook where I put everything inside of here. They don't know that. That's for you, viewer. And I draw a little circle on the ground with a little red finger, almost as if I could do magic, but that's something that I don't like to talk about. And I draw a little smiley face. And that smiley face grows and grows and grows into a big smiley face of an explosion right onto Seir to get him off of me.
And it works, because Seir, unfortunately, you got flipped a failure. You are flung backward by the blast.
Seir!
A crimson flower balloons outward from Kimani, and Lumièra and Xainan, the two of you, get buffeted by a huge gale of heat as that 25 fire damage slams into you. What does fire damage mean when you're playing Lasers and Feelings? Who knows? But you've got it now, and your clothes are now ashen. There's little bits of flame trying to catch on your skin and your hair. And Kimani, as the smoke starts to settle, you are completely unharmed.
Exactly. Whew. And to describe Kimani, she is a person always wearing a smile. That is the number one thing that you remember. She's wearing a long coat with a lot of patchwork on it, different colors. The coat is yellow, but the patches are every other color. You can assume that that's because they get tears, rips and tears, but she likes the coat. She doesn't want to get rid of it. She'd rather look a little silly than get rid of a nice coat. It is really hard to find a nice coat, and she has been at all of the places that you can find one. She's a black person. Her sides are shaved. She has growing out her hair at the top, trying to decide what she wants that outfit to, what she wants that hairstyle to be. And she's wearing a white shirt with a Transplanar logo on it. Almost as if she's gotten it from a special gift shop on Earth. Go buy one. And walking shoes, because she does a lot of walking with like black slacks.
Strike Team Nova, the sigil on Kimani's shirt feels at once familiar and deeply eldritch and strange. Kimani, you've got the box. The object is in the box. It's time to go.
Gotta go. It was great seeing you all, Lumièra and friends. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember the rest of your names. That's okay. Let me know if we see you again. I probably will. Bye. And she
Wait, get back here.
Waltzes down the hall.
He just got out of therapeutics and recovery. Fuck this!
Xainan's already running.
And Lumièra bolts behind them.
All right. We are beginning a lovely chase. So, Kimani, you book it down the hallway. You do like a Tokyo Drift kind of Akira slide moment, right? As you like turn down this like T intersection and start booking it down the next corridor. Strike Team Nova, fast on your heels, covered in smoke, covered in ash. I'm gonna need one of you. Let's say eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Kimani, roll me a D10, please.
Oh, can't do. I just had one from the game I was playing earlier.
Ominous.
Don't
Where are
worry
these
about
dice
it.
coming from?
8.
8. Okay, Kimani, with Strike Team Nova close on your heels. You run down this corridor, and it opens up at the very end of it into a bustling cafeteria. It is packed to the gills. This is where Nova was headed. It's lunchtime, so there's all kinds of delightful smells swirling through the air, all sorts of huge tables, individual counters, all kinds of stalls with all kinds of foods, a buffet of delicacies. This cafeteria is multi-tiered. You are on the second floor of the cafeteria, so you see kind of a balcony in front of you that oversees like a bigger kind of like arena with even more cafeteria stalls and tables. And there's like several tiers jutting out in front of you, going dizzying up, all the way to a ceiling that is way high up, hundreds of feet into the air. And as you bustle into this space, the smell of delicious food hitting all four of you straight on in the face. Who, pray tell, is leading Strike Team Nova's pursuit?
Not Seir.
I mean, Xainan went the moment that Kimani started running away, was right on her heels.
Love it. So Xainan, you are like moments away from catching up to Kimani. How do you try to grab onto him, slow her down, call out to them?
Xainan, while he's running, yells out, "Wait, we just want to send you home, come back!" And is gonna continue to try and do what we're supposed to do in the cases of hitchhikers on other planes. There should not be a hitchhiker at Trans, but also Xainan has retrieved more than one hitchhiker before. And so he is well trained and remembers, like, even on Earth, where it went horribly wrong, one of the ways we went wrong was that we didn't just say, "Come with us, we'll take you home," Seir. And so Xainan is going to try again for the same hitchhiker.
I'm gonna need you to roll expression for me to see how well that plea and how earnestly it comes out. So what is your number?
4.
So you need to roll over. You need to roll over this for a success. 1d6. Are you prepared?
Am I? I mean, I'm well studied in how to deal with hitchhikers.
Oh, you know what? I will give that to you. Are you an expert at getting hitchhikers home and or calling out to people?
I've done it more than once, but I wouldn't call myself an expert.
So let's do 2d6. Go for it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There's only 2 sides of this. I have a 1 and a 6.
So that's one success. That's one success. You barely manage it. So the GM inflicts a complication, harm, or cost. Here's the complication. As you're in the middle of like shouting, "We want to get you home," an agent steps in front of you with a cafeteria tray, and you slam like full force into this agent. Like utensils, like mashed potatoes go flying, bees, beep, 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 like peas, bing, 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 all the way down your face, and you've got mash all in your hair.
Oh, come on. And I think Xainan like fully has to stop to like get it out of his eyes, and we just see like him wipe away mashed potatoes dramatically, and we get one orange eye and one green eye in the reveal of the mashed potatoes being wiped away.
The agent goes, "My mash." But Kimani, the plea does come out because that is a success. How do you respond?
I stop running, put my hands on my hips, turn around, grab someone's drink, start drinking it. It was unopened, thankfully. Okay, I don't know why you... Home? I don't have a home.
You don't have a home?
No,
Is it gone? We can help you.
nothing as sad as that. No, I woke up in a void space and then landed somewhere. Several times over. It keeps happening. Like when I walk through portals like the ones that Angry One opened up last time.
Seir. Their name's Seir.
Yes, Seir.
And,
when I woke up for the first time, I didn't remember anything before that. Kind of like what people call it amnesia. I woke up in like a space like that, and I just kind of went through the first open in that space that I found. It's like nice in between. It was kind of comfortable. Kind of warm, kind of cold, kind of nice.
Kimani,
nice.
Talking is suddenly very hard for you. There's something underneath your tongue. And then it comes out. You pull it out. It is a red X.
Oh, okay. Well, this means that I should shut the fuck up. So I put it back
That
in my
means you
mouth.
should
I
not
swallow
be here.
it.
Where did that come from?
Under my tongue. And again, means I should shut the fuck up. So I'm and she goes to the left side of her mouth, pulls a zipper over
You wave
And
goodbye and
starts-
you go. This Looney Tune ass character.
Yeah.
As you turn around, Kimani, I have a very important question for you.
Yes.
Which pocket is the box in?
It is in my right
Your right trouser pocket?
jacket pocket. She has a long coat.
Right jacket pocket. As you zip your mouth, literally, you turn and you book it. Lumièra, you and Seir have caught up to Xainan at this point, just in time for Kimani to turn around and leave. And as you get closer than you've ever been to Kimani, no, closer than you've ever been to the box. No, closer than you've ever been to the object inside the box, you feel it. A tugging. That thing inside the box, that object, the item, whatever it is calling to you. It is calling to you. You feel drawn to it like you are one half of a magnet and it is the other half. And you know instinctually how you feel about this object, which is that you hate it. You fucking hate the thing that is inside the box, but you cannot let it fall into someone else's hands. No, you hate it, and you must protect it. These feelings come to you. They feel like they came from inside you, but they also feel like they came from outside and are washing over you. How do you claim these feelings?
I think Lumièra and all of her complete confusion. I think like the easiest word for her right now is kerfluffled. Like she just doesn't understand what exactly is going on, why Kimani is here, and more specifically, why she cannot stand the thing that's in the box that she's holding, but also desperately wanting to get it away from them at the same time.
Yes, you
And
can't
she
let
just-
anyone else have it, Lumièra. Only you can. Only you should. You must have it. You hate it, and you must have it.
All right. I just want to talk, okay? This isn't... And when she sees Kimani zip her lips and run, I think her eyes go wild across the cafeteria, just like looking around. She doesn't really know any way else to try. Well, she does know how to stop Kimani, but she can't do it here.
There are
So-
eyes everywhere. And Elspeth, and you know this, everyone, the few people you've entrusted this to, have made it very clear how forbidden your calling is, that natural thing that comes to you. There's a reason why you've brokered things in exchange for knowledge of this with Elspeth Sanoon. It's dangerous. Are you gonna risk doing it here? There's hundreds, thousands of eyes here. No, it can't be here. It's too risky.
No, absolutely not. So,
I'll cut them off.
okay.
And Seir looks at you with devotion in his eyes, with worship on his tongue, and he knows the look on your face when you have an idea, a spark, something, and just reads you. I'll cut them off. I'll keep an eye on them. You do what you need to do.
I will make it difficult for them nonetheless. And Lumièra will look around to the nearest empty like plate that an agent was eating off of and grab
Okay.
it and attempt to whip it at Kimani's feet to try to knock them off of their
Off
try to
balance?
knock them
Okay.
off balance.
I need you to roll calling, because Kimani at this point has made some good headway. It's like
Headway.
booking it to the other
Right.
end of the cafeteria, toward the balcony railing, actually. So roll calling for me. What's your number?
Okay. 3 is my number.
You want to roll under 3, so a 1 or a 2. So 1d6, are you prepared? Let's say the plate makes you prepared. You've thought about this. Are you an expert at throwing plates at people's feet?
I would say no.
Okay, so 2d6.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, go for it. 2d6.
Okay. Roll. You said calling, so I'm rolling under.
Yes. Trying to roll under 3.
That's exactly a 3.
Exactly 3? That's good! That's really good, because that means you get a regular success and you attain something called expression callings. You get special insight into what's going on. You get to ask me a question and I'll have to answer honestly. But first, the plate whips across like the perfectly thrown discus it is, like a UFO beaming on, locking onto Kimani's feet. And Kimani, just as you've reached the railing, something hard and small hits your ankles. How do you fall or stumble?
I think if it's even funnier, it goes under my foot. So if you've ever stepped on something, this is linoleum flooring. If you've ever stepped on something plastic on linoleum flooring, I slide out and spin out, kind of like a starfish, and hit a wall. Ow.
You hit so many people, so many drinks, so many trays are spilling. There are so many pissed off, hungry agents going, "Hey, what the hell? What gives? My kimchi soup!" And then you like skid out basically, and I think your back slams into the railing, and you like almost tip over, right? As you're still like doing this kind of circus act with the plate under your feet. Lumièra, what is the question you'd like to ask? I'm gonna add, you can address it to me or you can address it to Kimani, and either one of us will have to answer honestly.
Okay, I will address this to Kimani. What do you need from us to make you listen and come with us?
I'm assuming you're like asking that to me as you catch up and I am covered in food. I don't know. I don't have a home, so I can't say I want to go home, but I would like to leave. But I'm assuming you can't do that. So in the short term, we can have about 10 feet away from each other if we're gonna have a conversation.
You are in my home. A stranger.
Okay.
I'm sorry if I'm not overjoyed to let you just run off. Not to mention, there is something in your pocket that is not yours.
I think she's getting up from the floor because I was sprawled out. And just kind of like, almost like as if it was like Prestination in D&D, like cleans himself off. Okay, that's better. Okay. I understand, dear.
The ground underneath your feet, Kimani, turns into a huge red X and then vanishes. And you stay still in midair for half a second and then you fall. You fall, and like striking them, they go out of you. You fall, and then you land, you bounce. You kind of bounce like you're made of rubber, like boing, like harmlessly off the ground floor of the cafeteria. And you see an exit to your left.
Oh, can I see them from the hole?
Yeah, if Strike Team Nova is like looking over the edge of the hole, yes.
Yeah. I'm assuming at least Lumièra would probably look under the hole.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, remember, and then like reaching into the mouth. Remember this thing? Yeah, no. Can't talk to you. Thing under my feet. Guess I can't talk to you. Gotta go. Bye. And leaves.
Okay, you book it toward the door. Strike Team Nova, it is at least like a 30-foot drop down. How do you pursue?
Fate.
Seir.
Before-
Seir at this point is going to keep his promise to Lumièra. I'm going to cut them off at some point. And I'm going to try something I tried to do in 619341114, but I didn't know how to do it back then.
That's bad.
I do now.
What are you trying to do?
I want to open one portal for me to get to the other side of that exit.
Okay, that's gonna be expression, because expression deals with things that are like magic, diplomacy, passion, intuition. So what is your number again?
3.
You want to roll over 3. Go for it. Let's say 1d6, you're not an expert and you're not prepared. So just 1d6.
Alrighty, buddy. Doom Dice, it's your turn. Doom Dice, it is its turn. 5 and 6.
just one dice. Just 1d6 is the base.
Just one, sorry.
But you
5.
would have succeeded either way. That's totally fine. That is one success, which means you barely manage it. I will inflict a complication, harm, or cost. So what does it look like as a local portal swirls in front of you, leading to the ground floor?
Seir calls into that thing that's within him. And I think for a moment he sees a glimmer, a shadow of an antlered person walking past bits of the wood before shadow takes him and he steps forward, emerging from the other side.
That's right. It is only, you only are able to stabilize it open enough for just you to get through, so Lumièra and Xainan don't. It opens, you step through, there's a whooshing of forest leaves and a snatch of an antler with a bunch of broken red threads caught on its horns, and then you are right in front of Kimani. Kimani, you are seconds away from leaving the cafeteria when a portal opens to your left, which connects to the upper floor, and Seir steps out, right next to you. Seir, because you just got one success, that means I inflict a complication, harm, or cost. Roll me a d10.
Absolutely. I didn't have a D10. I didn't have a D10.
Oh no, I should have
Not again! Not again!
I got it.
You got your
me.
dice with you.
He calls us and is like, okay, so we're gonna play this system. It's gonna be a D6, and
It's
then we
just
sit
D6.
down, and then Connie goes, hey, we
So,
need a D10, a D8, a D20. You didn't tell me to bring this ahead of time.
5.
A 5. Oh, that is so funny. As you step out, because this ground floor is busy as hell. What are the 3 words that come out of your mouth, Seir, before someone gets in your way?
3 words?
Mm-hmm.
Not this time.
And then, getting in your way, carrying a tray is Cove. Who's busting
Oh,
her own
fuck
tray.
off, Cove!
She walks forward, doesn't seem to notice Kimani being out of place here, because Kimani doesn't ping for anyone as being out of place, and then pauses seeing you, like completely ignores Kimani and goes, huh, and then looks up at the huge vanished part of the balcony that had crumbled away. Was that you? Thought you were
Actually,
getting better.
no. Actually, no. Fuck off, Cove. Pushes past.
What? Hey, she's gonna stand her ground. Kimani, do you use this as an opportunity to get away, or do you stay and watch?
Is Cove hot?
Oh my god, she's so
Yes.
hot. She's
Yeah.
like 6-something, dark hair, like butch,
Big,
lesbian,
beautiful butch.
Yeah.
big,
Zach.
beautiful
She's
butch,
so hot,
plate
Zach.
armor. Yeah.
Kimani loves the idea of watching 2 hot people fight.
You're so valid. Honestly, I'm with you 100% there, Kimani.
And like it's kind of like leans on the doorway and like again pulls someone's popcorn.
And you start popping
can't
in
be
your mouth.
this much of
Yeah,
a menace.
Cove is like getting in your way as you're trying to get around her.
I'm dealing with a problem. I'm dealing with a problem right now, Cove. Why do you show up at the worst points? Why are you around when no one wants you around? Fuck off!
Okay, rude. I was just trying to eat lunch.
Fuck off!
You're in my way. You're in front of the compost.
We're busy, come on!
What? Nova? What have you gotten yourself into?
And Seir just like pushes past and
Hey!
and it's just like, I got eyes on the hitchhiker.
I think at that
Kimani's like,
moment,
gotta go.
Lumièra, I think in the midst of all that is was enough time, I think maybe for like Xainan and Lumièra to catch up. Well, maybe not Xainan, but at least for Lumièra.
Xainan's doing something else.
Okay, well, Lumièra has caught up at this point in time and is chasing after Seir. And in the midst of all of this, I think as Cove gets pushed out of the way, they get pushed into Lumièra, and Lumièra like bumps into them and is like,
Oh,
business, I'm sorry. And
sorry. No, yeah.
runs after Seir.
Okay, Kimani has booked it out of there. Xainan, what are you up to?
So while the other two were talking to Kimani before the X even happened, Xainan very quickly said, Oracle, tell Artemis there's a hitchhiker trans.
Oh, okay.
And doesn't even wait for any response and just starts going. Because he's not going to jump down a hole. Again, he just got out of therapeutics and recovery. He also understands trans and has walked enough here to have faith that when he walks out of the nearest doors, he is going to find his way to the right path. And so he's going to walk out the door, not only with faith that Artemis is going to get that message, that the Oracle is going to do its job, but also that he is going to get where he needs to go.
So you're trusting fate. You're trusting the path that you're on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to call for a roll here. That's going to be expression. You're following your intuition. So what's your number?
4.
You want to roll over 4. Go for it. So that is 1d6. I don't know if you're prepared. And I might call you an expert at following your gut, though. So let's say 2d6.
Trust in a will.
Nope.
No.
1 and a 3.
That's 0 successes. It goes wrong. Okay, this is hilarious. I have a perfect idea.
I love this.
Strike Team Nova books after Kimani. The doors to the cafeteria slide open, and all of you stumble into something that is not ever supposed to be connected to a cafeteria, despite the whirling wheels that is the Syndicate. It is a lab. Research and development. Active laboratory. You step into like an experiment chamber as there are multiple scientists in white lab coats and robes, like titrating liquids, right? And like you see some sort of like plant that they're injecting vials into, and the plant like pulsates and turns different colors and it turns into a cow, right? On one end, it's just an open lab with a bunch of strange experiments and magical things happening. Odd inventions, smells everywhere, little explosions going off all over the place. It is chaotic, it is overstimulating, and it is part of fate's plan? ? Xainan? But you did fail here. So Kimani, how are you jetting through?
Yeah, so I think I'm looking a little bit, seeing what's all here, smelling the smells that'll probably cause problems later, and then just decidedly, I just walk through this one because I've been in a lab before. I understand that running through a lab is bad business, so I just I walk around, I act like I'm supposed to be here, I turn my coat white, put some goggles on, grab a clipboard, and I'm walking through and I go, actually, and I think there's aspects of like places that I've learned from other places where I'm like, oh, that nitrite needs a little bit more, nitrous, and someone's like, oh my god, like,
Nitrous? You're a genius! And you see like a scientist go back and like add nitrous to a concoction.
Yeah. And I walk from entrance to exit, calmly, right, reasonably, blending in. It's like the bystander effect, except people assume you're supposed to be there.
Seir, you're the closest on Kimani's tail as you see her just change personas and blend in. But you see her, you get a bead on her. What do you do?
Seir breaks because I'm not breaking the laboratory. I'm sure he's done it before. We're not doing it again. And Seir freezes for a moment but keeps eyes on Kimani, and I think feels the rustling of leaves just behind his ear as he remembers a lesson from the Huntress, and stays low and is not trying to... Kimani's trying to be quiet and move about this. I'll be quiet too. Kimani doesn't need to know that I still got a beat on them. And he kind of like slinks into the shadows, looks around on these like large apparati that exists in this space, and is just going to hunt her and look for Kimani from the shadows so that they don't notice their advance.
I love that. Stalking like a wolf or a bear through the woods of this laboratory. You keep your eyes on your target and you never lose sight. I love that. Lumièra, what about you?
I think Lumièra is running after Seir, like...
He holds up a finger as you catch eyes. And then gestures.
She just nods, and she's been in quite a few labs herself, at least studying. So she does the very ADHD autistic like walk, but like when she turns a sharp corner, it's like very abrupt and on point and key, like as she's like making her way around these different edges and stuff, following Seir's path, keeping an eye out for those antlers. That's what she's following.
Yes, well, the antlers do cut a very impressive and distinct figure through the chaos of the lab, and you follow the hunter's path. What about yourself, Xainan? This is where following your gut has led you.
Xainan, the very first thing out of his mouth is, "I am so sorry," to the nearest scientist that is in there. You know how this place is. And he's just gonna like try and casual walk out, but without the benefit of Kimani's kind of like every person ability. Very awkward. Again, looks like he was having a nice leisurely Saturday on his couch. And is now also singed and covered in mashed potatoes and peas. So he's just like, "I'm so sorry. Where's the door?" And he is gonna awkward dad his way through this lab.
Yeah. You get some similarly awkward and embarrassed and slightly annoyed directions to the door, which is exactly where Kimani is heading. But it's so funny, the chaos of the cafeteria, then all of you just kind of like casually moseying your way through this laboratory. And Kimani, because none of your pursuers are trying to actively gain ground on you, you do reach the door first. Roll me a d10.
Ooh, nice. I got a 5.
We got that already. Roll it again.
Yes. What is this? A 6.
A 6. Okay, the doors open to a vast open field. All of you see a dizzying blue sky populated with these fluffy, beautiful clouds, and one of the many farmsteads of community operations. We see all sorts of rows of vegetables being grown, and by the nearest row, we see a large centaur-like person, Kenzo Hirose, who is tending to a row of corn. Is kind of like checking the leaves to make sure they're growing all right. And you step into what appears to be the outdoors, Kimani.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a new recruit, and I took Kendo Hirose.
Kenzo, yeah. This man with like a really well-defined farmer's tan looks up at you and gives you a warm smile. "Ah, a new recruit. You must be
Yes,
lost. This is community
I
operations."
Yeah, how do I leave?
Oh, well, just keep walking, keep your eyes on your destination, and fate will provide a way. Oh, good afternoon, Nova.
Lumièra is running at this point in time now. She's sweaty. She's like, Nova can see it on her face. She's fucking over it. She's over it. And after a second, Kimani gets about like halfway, maybe a couple of steps away from Kenzo, and she goes, "Enough of this," and stands stock still and creates a liminal around Zoe. Around Kimani, capturing them inside and reversing time, so it's almost like she's getting pulled back towards us in the way that she came towards the door.
Okay, so that's some big magic right in the middle of trans. You have never done chronergy inside the Syndicate before. That's gonna be expression. So 1d6, you're not an expert, not yet. And
Nope.
I'm not sure you were prepared to do this. You weren't preparing to do time magic today. So that's 1d6. You're
right.
trying to roll over your number. What is your number?
If Lumièra
My number
fails,
is 3.
Okay, go for it.
If Lumièra fails, can I do a counter thing?
Yes, you can.
Lumièra hits 3 right on the dot. Thank you to my Lumièra die.
Oh my god. Okay, so that's a regular success, and you also attain expression callings, the special insight once again. Because you just got 1 success, you barely manage it. Usually I inflict something, but I'll let Kimani do something in response to this. But initially, it does work. We see a sphere of clockwork gears bubble open around Kimani. And Kimani, you freeze in place. You see the world around you begin to move in reverse, and then it's like you're dragged back on a concourse, and you arrive right where you were when you first stepped into the farmstead, which is by now in the midst of Strike Team Nova.
Lumièra just smiles.
Nova, hi. This actually works out because I can't get out of here by myself. So if we could walk out of this place and walk to the exit, that would be great.
Oh, you mean the thing we've been trying to tell you this entire time?
Okay.
This is a
your
plane
definition of
between.
exit.
We'll find it.
Okay, great. Let's
There's a thumping noise as Kenzo Hirose drops his shears. And
Xainan
he
is
staring.
looking at Kenzo.
He is staring slack-jawed at what Lumièra just did, and several other farmers and comm ops have also stood and, like, nearby, standing and staring open-mouthed with looks of pure shock.
I actually have this one. It looks like you shouldn't have done that. But I will do you a favor just this once, Lumièra. I would like to bend the truth.
Okay! So when you bend the truth, Kimani, which is a mechanic from Fate Breakers, you create a near-perfect fabrication that even the most cunning might never discover. Decide what falsehood you've created, then answer the questions below. So I need you to flip a coin. Just flip a coin right now.
Yeah. Sweaty.
And I'm gonna guess what it is. If I guess correctly, you fail. If I guess incorrectly, you succeed. I'm going to guess heads.
Haha! It's tails.
Okay, so you succeed. You get to choose 2 questions below. The questions are, how will this falsehood bring success beyond this moment?
Yeah.
What aspect of this lie becomes true? Or what extra piece of information do you gain from this encounter?
I'd
So
like
Kimani,
to
what falsehood do you
choose-
leave? Yeah, go ahead.
I would like this. What is this? I would like everyone to think that what Lumièra just did, was not, in fact, the negative thing. Because Kimani does not understand specifically what's going on, but Kimani knows when I do. Kimani has a lot of experience of doing something that you're not supposed to and watching people kind of look in horror. Like that one time she raised a skeleton in the place that didn't like necromancy. She's not going to talk about that one.
Yes. The deathless unlight. You probably should not have
Correct.
raised the dead in the deathless unlight. Yes.
My first boyfriend was a necromancer. I'm sorry.
And the second one was a cleric. I mean, it's so funny how life works out that way, isn't it, Kimani?
Yeah. But yeah, so I would like everyone to believe that this is, and you can tell that Kimani is kind of weaving this almost like magic, and kind of whispers over to Lumièra, okay, so what magic is cool around here? Like, you just said something uncool. Can you, like, let me know what's fine?
Mind you, Lumièra, Kimani's talking to you while inside the liminal. So their voice is kind of muffled, but they're still moving and talking. It's like they've just been trapped inside this orb, which you've never been able to do.
How do you do that?
I need an answer. I can only,
I'm
light
sorry.
And
magic.
Kenzo says, Xainan, what is that?
And Xainan is going to actually, even though I'm sure it doesn't actually do anything, Xainan is going to step between Kimani and Kenzo, just in case like any harm would be coming to his friend. He's like, nope.
Yes, definitely no harm, but there is alarm, and now a slight degree of fear is starting to settle in the longer this is going unaddressed and unrectified. So Kimani, how do you weave this falsehood?
I change, light magic seems like it's cool around here. Okay, doing that. And it's like, makes a button and then presses it. And like a flash goes off. And almost like people kind of like, just changes the course of what just happened. Very literally. Like, people are looking at it. The looks of shock become looks of like, I would assume, as Zode knows, like, congratulations. Like, oh my God, you found your calling. That's so great.
Wait, no, I love that. Okay, so you press this button, there's a flare of light, and the clock gears turn into sun symbols. Like, beep, 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 they populate into sun symbols, right? And there's like a flare of warmth that radiates out from this bubble. And everyone's looks of shock and confusion, instead of wiping their memories, you've kind of overlaid a neat lie over the truth. So there's a pause. They remember the clock gears, but now they're seeing something else. And Kenzo blinks and says, light powers? Solar manipulation? I never knew Lumièra was so attuned in such a way. And the other farmers start like looking at each other, looking impressed, looking at Lumièra, like nodding. And you hear some like golf clapping. Like, wow, like this unexpected calling from this former healer.
Lumièra is stuck because she's still holding the liminal around Kimani that's now solar flares, essentially. But she looks like she knows she just stepped in it majorly. So, like, her eyes are wide and frantic.
There's a moment of lucidity, I think, that comes over Seir at this moment, who has been desperate, eager to fix a mistake long past, but seeing Kimani do this, help Lumièra, some realization kind of seeps into his mind, and he murmurs to Lumièra, "Let it go. Drop it. What's really going on with you? This...
The
You're
solar
wrong.
flare dies down.
This is wrong. Why are you like this?"
You talking to me?
To Kimani. Yeah, Seir's looking at you, and he's looking at you curiously, and those blue eyes flicker and almost glow for a moment as Seir is trying to find your doom. Is it your doom that brought you here?
Okay. So, Seir, I'm not even gonna make you roll for it. As your eyes flare with blue and you tap into that doom that you've named, that you've found, that you've looked into the eyes of and have begun to embrace. Usually, when you wield your doom, you're able to shoot it like a lance, like a weapon, like a gun, like a hunter's spear toward your target and spear through them and see the truth of them here. But with Kimani, that doom lance just kind of phases right through. It passes through the center of her chest where her soul would be, just harmlessly. And you get nothing from it.
Where is it?
What was that? What the fuck was that? And you can see, like, see. The fuck was that?
Where is it?
Where's what?
Your downfall. Your doom. Your...
Oh, baby, it's tall, beautiful women.
Seir, it's not that there's nothing where the doom should be, not a void or anything like that. It's rather almost like Kimani, it's themselves is a living glitch in a line of code. Like the doom just doesn't work on her.
This is wrong. You're wrong. No, Kimani, I don't understand why you're being so stubborn about this. Let us help you.
Wrong. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. That's really fucking rude, considering I am a wanderer, a hitchhiker. You all keep calling it.
Yes, and that's not supposed to happen.
What's a hitchhiker? Let's use some terminology. Let's share some things, because I'm starting to think you are pointing fingers at the wrong bitch.
No.
Xainan is going to start pushing people out of the nearest door as quickly as possible.
To get people out of this so we have a private moment here? Or to get
Yes.
Nova out of here?
To get Nova and Kimani out of this farm field where there's a bunch of people watching.
Everyone is still watching.
Like,
They're hearing what you're saying. Yeah.
yeah. And
You
before
have a hard
Xainan,
time
like,
pushing Lumièra. She's stock still.
Xainan looks at Lumièra, and ever since the liminal dropped, he's pretty much just been staring at her. And that jovial nature that he's had since everyone showed up today is gone. He is extremely serious. Lumièra, I need you to move right now. And he just gently nudges her towards the door.
Everyone saw.
We'll deal with
so
it.
much
Come on.
trouble.
Kenzo, I'll be back.
Yeah, of course. Everything with Lumièra okay? She wasn't expecting sun powers, was she? It's a great set, Lumièra, it's a great set of powers to have. Makes crops grow. Brings life to everyone. You'll learn to control it.
Yeah. Life. Thank you, Kenzo.
Just wield it responsibly. Sun powers can destroy as much as they create.
She turns on that and leaves.
And everyone murmurs of this as all of you come back out the way you came. You do not enter into the cafeteria again, however. Kimani, one of the questions in Fatebreakers that you get to answer is, how will this falsehood bring success beyond this moment? Would you like to keep that one as one of your two?
Yes, I would.
I have a suggestion for you, which is that there is now an understanding and growing rumors of Lumièra's solar powers as this strange new calling that's flaring up, as opposed to chronergy. Okay. But there was still that moment of strange fabrication that came over it. So if ever anyone tugged at the threads of that, this entire lie would come undone. So now, Nova, you all step out of community operations Farmstead, and you find yourselves in a set of dusty archives. Very quiet here. This seems to be a back room of some sort in one of Trans's many magnificent libraries. Private, which is good. Almost as though Xainan, fate is rewarding you once more for following her path, giving you a place to recoup. And here, in this library, in these archives, Kimani, this is also part of your dream. You remember this place. Of course, this is the way out of the Syndicate.
Oh, thank
So
God.
you've got your exit. You know exactly where to go to exit out of here. As the door closes behind you and the jovial son of community operations is shut out.
Okay. What is a hitchhiker? Because you keep saying it and it doesn't.
I'm not-
You are.
I disagree.
I'm not trying to blame you for anything. All I'm trying to explain is you're bouncing around between places you do not belong in.
Correct.
You have a home.
No.
Don't you want to return?
incorrect.
But everyone has a home.
Not anymore.
Not true.
Not everyone, Seir.
Had a home.
Never.
A hitchhiker is someone in a place that they are not intended to within the will of fate, within the journey. You're not even in the journey, so I don't even know how to explain this one.
I don't know what the journey is, and Lord, every god I've ever met knows fate is not something that I am blessed with.
You don't have
I'm
a fate?
wanderer.
Everyone has fate. Fate is one of the core things that holds the entirety of the journey together.
Fate is the weaver
Okay.
of the
so,
journey.
Like, I read it in books. It's like that thing, a destiny, right?
That's
Let's-
one
a
aspect.
gross oversimplification.
Okay.
Lumièra.
The journey weaver, the destiny, the thing I'm supposed to do.
Or a path to walk.
Yes.
A destination to go to.
Or just a calling.
That's wherever I end up.
And here's where you ended. Recently.
No. Here's where.
Did
it's
you
my
really
stop.
jump off a cliff?
Yes, I jumped off a cliff. It was called Moonstone Ridge. You jump off the cliff, you dive into it. Usually, it's a whole journey thing that people tend to go on, like what is it, like a fear thing. But someone said if I did it at a specific time, I can find out where I need to go, and this is where I need to go because it was in my dream.
Who?
What do you mean,
Who said that?
The
who
old man
said
up the
you could-
road.
Old man up the road.
Okay, I feel like we're
Where
getting
were
lost.
you after we saw you in, what was the name of that place?
Ohio.
was
Earth.
it?
Earth.
Yes. Where was I before?
Yeah,
No.
well, where'd you go after?
There was a nice place. Had a lot of trees and plants. A lot of greenery. Some ships that kind of cut through.
Have you been
The wild
following
sea?
us?
All trees.
For a little bit, yeah. I was there for a little bit, and then I left right before things started getting weird. There were some weird rumors people were talking about like the end of the world, princess is missing, yada yada yada. It
What
was
were you
weird.
doing
It was kind
there?
of sad.
What did
Was I
your
there?
dream tell you to do there?
That one I think was just, there was not a dream for that one. That one was just for fun. Well,
What happened after
You were
you
just-
left?
that was when I ended up, in the place with like the Moon Ridge hung out there with the old guy on the ridge for a little bit. He was like, oh, and I told him about my dream like 2 days ago, and he was like, oh, if you jump off the cliff,
Question.
it'll take you wherever. Yeah.
Was the old man on the cliff that you spoken to, was their name Hop Ching?
No.
Oh, thank God.
I think it was like Charles.
All right.
And
well,
Kimani, this is when it kind of strikes you that when you last met these people, there were 4 of them.
Yes, there was. The competent one.
I'm sorry. What?
I'm gonna ask you very, very nicely and respectfully, because I appreciate what it is that you've done.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get to refer to her.
Love it when I strike a bad chord. GG, easy, heard, and word, chef. So, if we're
Chef.
good here, it's an expression that I got on Earth. It's fine. So, I'm not a hitchhiker, but I like wanderer. You should give me a little subcategory there. And I'm going to keep my wander and get on out of here if that's fine.
I don't
Get out of your
believe
hair?
you get... Mm-mm.
No?
You can leave,
Okay.
but you cannot take that with you. It does not belong to you.
But it was in my dream.
That doesn't make it yours. It still makes it Han Wuyen's.
Okay, that's fair. Mm-hmm.
I dream of certain things every single night. That does not make it real.
Yeah, but
That
like,
doesn't make it here anymore.
Okay, but clarifying question for you. Have your dreams ever told you things that actually come to pass? This is like a premonition, if you really think
Seir freezes. Seir's stock still unsettled. There's a bit of velvet that was burnt to cinder by your fireball that peels off of his antlers and falls to the ground into ash as he stares into you.
about it. Yeah. I know someone gets what I'm talking about. Yeah, like a premonition. Things that are... here's the thing. If it... Fine, I'll call it a premonition. I had a premonition of where this thing would be, and that means that I am supposed to have it, obviously. Because if it wasn't exactly where it was in my head, then I don't know. It wouldn't be. I wouldn't be supposed to do it, right?
Or
Right?
Unfortunately-
it's a warning.
See, the old man's Charles said that too, but I disagree.
I've often disagreed. It never ended well for me.
Okay, well, I have the thing, and the worlds haven't ended, and I shake it around,
Yo,
and it sounds small and insignificant. So I think I should
nothing
have...
is insignificant.
Oh, that was deep. You should put that on a shirt.
Do you even know what that is?
No. Can I look at it? Are you gonna... Can I
Yeah.
let me look at it? Okay, I'm gonna,
Yeah, go
I'm gonna
ahead.
turn away from you and like
Okay.
look at it.
Yes, you open up the box, you try to hide it from the rest of Strike Team Nova. Are Nova trying to peek and look?
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
I don't stop them. I
Okay,
just-
yeah, all right. So all of you kind of lean over Kimani's shoulders, and all of you watch as you open this intricate lid, and you reveal a bed of beautiful velvet, like jade-colored velvet. And sitting in this bed of velvet is a roughly 2-inch long, curved iron rod. It is roughly as thick around as someone's finger. It looks hefty, like there's a nice weight to it, and either end of this rod looks broken.
Oh. I look at it. I wait until you all look at it for about a second, and then I close it as if like I'm hiding it. And then I put it to my side, and I turn to you all. Okay, do you guys know what that is?
What do you need with a broken crowbar?
Crowbar. Okay. Yeah. That might be what it is. I'm gonna be real. Again, the dreams. I've only started having them recently. But you know, I go do a thing. I grab a thing. I leave. And then I wait for the next dream. It's kind of like you have missions. It's like a mission.
But what do you do with the things that you collect?
I put them in a nice box. but it's like
So you
a
just
magic
have them?
box. Yes, I just have them.
I can't let you take that and just have it.
What? Why?
Because you don't even
Well-
know what you're doing.
Oh my
You
God,
are
that's...
following a path that you don't know the destination to. What if you're heralding something worse?
That's my whole thing, Seir. That's what I learned.
Heralding something worse?
No! Wandering! I'm a wanderer. I have nowhere else to fucking go, and I do the things that feel right. I do the things that
You
feel
can
Lumièra.
wander, but you
As your team and this wanderer bicker, the image of that rod is seared into your mind's eye. Like you can still see it even though the lid is closed. And the more you think of it, the more it feels like you're falling into the iron of that rod. That is the thing. That is the thing that upon seeing you just feel like inherent instinctual dislike, hatred, repulsion toward it. And yet as soon as you see it, like you feel your fingers twitch toward it. Like an instinctual unknown part of your body, your soul, your mind needs to keep it close to you, to yourself, to guard it.
Xainan, this is clearly above what we're meant to manage. We need to call the hands.
Okay.
I've already
Okay,
I've
wait.
already reached out to
Wait.
Artemis.
Before we bring any of the hands into it, Kimani. And
Yes.
Lumièra turns to you. Her eyes are very, you can tell that they're genuine. A little bit of pleading, but also at the same time, there's no hostility. You can tell that she's not actively trying to antagonize you. Hitchhikers cannot stay here. I know that's not what you want to be called, but here that is who you are. It causes problems not only for you, which can probably explain your glitching, they also cause problems here for us and everywhere else. And what you have in your pocket does nothing but make it worse. We will do everything that we can in our ability to help you get back to maybe not home, but whatever feels closest to you. It just can't be here, and you cannot go with that. And she gestures with her head to your pocket.
Connie,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to flip a coin, and if you
Okay.
guess right, I get a condition. And if I guess wrong, I'll... Yeah.
Okay, flip that coin. Tails.
Tails.
Okay, so that means I win, which means
You win.
you're gonna inflict a condition on yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, what condition are you inflicting?
Jealous. Okay. Alright. Okay. Hitchhiker this, journey that, fate all of that. Lumièra, I empathize with you. I understand you feel a calling to something beyond yourself. But I don't have that. I've never had that. I woke up wandering. So you call it a hitchhiker, I'll call it a wanderer. Maybe your system is wrong. But for now, I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna keep doing what I can do to make myself feel good, wading in a pool of fucking nothingness. And I bet you all are gonna walk around, keep doing your fucking jobs. So I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna walk through that door, and you can call your hands or your feet or whatever.
What do the X's mean?
The X's, I don't fucking know. I just know, and again, pulls one out of the mouth and crushes it. That they give me tips of people who I should avoid, because things tend to get worse if I don't.
So they warn you.
And yeah, and Kimani is going to extend her arm and grab on. You saw her close a mouth earlier that you kind of thought that was silly and weird. You see that there's a zipper on his forearm that he's grabbing. And I have a feeling you're not going to stop me, so I'm going to make a preemptive move here and now. What is this, an archive? Great. And Connie, I would like to use my ability, the Gnawing Edge of Hunger.
Oh my god. Okay, this is a ability from Apocalypse Keys. When you surrender to the hunger within you, describe how your body transforms and what you feed on. Flip a coin.
Not here.
Okay, before I guess, how does your body transform? What are you trying to feed on?
Those zippers are something that stop the gnawing edge of hunger within her. What I want to feed on here is as many books as possible, so that the next time I go, I've got some information that might help me.
That's fucking incredible. Okay, do you have the result of the flip?
Yes.
I'm gonna guess everyone root for Connie to succeed.
Connie, succeed.
Go, Connie!
Heads. It's tails.
Okay, so you succeed. You are empowered by the edges of your hunger and feed on the exact thing you need. Give into the euphoria of the feeding, describe how you feel, and create or replace a condition.
Yeah. I open my arm, and at first it looks gnarly because you think, oh no, it's kind of a sight that usually invokes some unsavoriness. But then in that same cartoon logic, you realize that the opening is more like a jacket, one that she is wearing, one that she's not wearing, but the one inside her. And it opens and it opens and it opens, and darkness shows out her hand. And she's holding the box on the left, puts it in a pocket, and unzips across the chest to the right on the other side. A void blackness of teeth and mouths is Kimani right now. It's hungry, and it explodes like that similar flash of light that you saw when Kimani lied, essentially, to everything. And a few books are grabbed, ones that she instinctually knows will help where she goes. You might even close your eyes, or you stare at this beautiful monstrosity that is Kimani, and it is disgusting, it is beautiful, it is grabbing things that feel like a calling. And it stops. And then it closes back up and it disappears, and in her bag it's a little bit more full, and she is at the door, not looking
I
at
have
you
a
all.
dreadful thing to add, if I may.
I have a dreadful thing to ask.
What are y'all two doing?
When the zipper is unzipped and there is just void and teeth and hunger, Xainan doesn't flinch away. He runs at it. I don't think he gets all that close, but in your pulling, you pull bits of dust out of him. And you have pieces of his dust also in your bag as he runs at you, and we just see pieces from under his clothes just kind of make their way out, a small thread of dust.
What about you, Lumièra?
I
know you have something you want to do. I love what Xainan did. I think Kimani takes a piece of each of you in this moment. A piece of your calling, specifically, what makes you magical.
You literally, as I was opening my mouth to say the words, Connie, I
took them. I pulled a Kimani. I sucked it right
literally.
Out of you. Yes.
I have two things. One, well, first, the part of Lumièra that Kimani takes, I think much like in the City of Heaven, where her chronology book flew open, a few of her note pages get torn out and sucked in to Kimani. One. Two, do I recognize you know the archives is like my second home from home. Do I recognize the section? Like, what section are we in? What books did she take? It's a
section. Yep.
That's the worst.
It is a section about callings, about different schools and kinds of magic. So all of the books flying off the shelves, all of the scrolls, the tomes, the tablets are about callings from all different worlds, all different perspectives about the strains of magic that exist in the multiverse. And Kimani is eating it all. Seir, what part of you does Kimani take that is related to your calling?
As your monstrous void opens up, snapping open like a hungry maw, voids and shadows, knowledge spilling into you, you're pulling Seir's antlers. He runs forward in an attempt to, seeing Xainan run forward, fresh out of recovery, tries to grab the back of Xainan's shirt, but realizes in his movement, he has lowered his head. And as you are pulling the antlers, it feels like you're pulling at it from stem and root, and it's pulling it outward and outward as you see more pieces of spikes and growths pull out of his antlers, and it's almost like it's accelerated antler growth. But then at the tip, a red thread, a frayed red thread pulls and pulls and pulls out of him, spins in place, and is absorbed by you. And there's a moment of curiosity, amazement that emerges out of Seir's mind, where he's seen that thread before, never on his antlers. And as you pull it, there's a tiny pluck as the thread takes to your maw, the teeth, and a tiny bit of thread falls in front of Seir's eye, dangling, as he looks kind of in horror at your hunger he feels connected to.
The swirling vortex dies down, the teeth reside, the hunger comes inside, and it swallows that which you've taken. The zippers re-zip. Kimani, you look more or less like yourself again, but inside of you, you feel the knowledge you've absorbed in this place. It will take you some time to pour over, but the three brightest ones are the three things you took from Strike Team Nova. And though they are all very different, and all speak to different sides, edges of magic, all three of them have one thing binding them, one thing that holds them all in common, the thing that gives them the same shared ground. All three of them feel so sad.
Wow. That's perfect. Because the condition that I would like to replace is loneliness.
Okay, what are you replacing it with?
Understanding.
Okay. Can we say empathetic?
Yeah.
All right. I'm replacing that on your character sheet. That is no longer a condition. Lonely is gone. We've replaced it with empathetic. What remains of the few unabsorbed books kind of clatter over with none of their peers to support them and clatter over onto the shelves, a few stray sheafs of paper here and there. Settle down.
Nova. And Seir.
Xainan looks around and counts the two others.
He's holding your bicep and has the tips of his fingers on your third and fourth finger, Lumièra, as he grazes against it with his fingers and thumb to know that you're there.
Lumièra is shaking. You can just feel it in the tips of her fingers. You can almost feel her pulse in the tips of her fingers. And she is stock still and wide-eyed.
Will you please leave that with us? And Xainan steps forward, hand out, and that thread, that dogged determination inside of him that you've consumed a piece of his calling to survive is also tied to his loyalty and why he keeps asking over and over and over again.
I'm sorry, Xainan Ash, which is not a name I knew before. The Hunger Traveler's gotta go. And I open that door and I walk through it.
Patience to Xainan. And patience will do what you will, Xainan. Whatever it is.
The moonsicle flies off of Seir's hip, and a handle enters your fingers just as Kimani opens a regular door in the archives. It's just like a normal door here that might lead to any corridor, any hallway, but as Kimani turns the knob, all three of you feel a pulsation of magic wash out from Kimani that makes no perceptual sense. This door is leading to somewhere outside of the Syndicate, which should not be possible.
Xainan looks to Patience, looks at the door, and falters. The scale of what he is seeing floods his mind, and with that also the same thing that he has been thinking ever since he saw that void, that roiling teeth, the darkness, the storm, oblivion. And he can't think of what to do.
Kimani, you open the door. Where does it lead?
Why don't you tell me? Maybe a city, perhaps?
Yes. A city. You open the door and neon lights filter in through the aperture all around you. And something very fast, a car, all of you know what a car is, a car filters right past the aperture as you've opened a door into the middle of a busy city street in some world, in some realm.
And as I reach basically behind me to close the door, maybe I'll see you again, Nova. And there is nothing but a sad, sad look of this most singular person you have ever met. Good luck on your journey.
The door closes, and that strange magic reverberating from Kimani vanishes the instant that the door meets the wall.
We
There
failed
you can
again,
feel-
didn't we?
No.
Patience to me.
The
You can
sickle
feel
back into
Xainan's
your hand.
arm and hands slightly trembling. He is tired
Xainan.
and confused. We didn't
All that
fail.
matters is we're okay.
Shing! Swirling into existence in the middle of your party is your oracle. No, wait. That's not your oracle. It is a sun. It is a black hole. It is a basketball. It's an orange. It's a sphere. It's a magic 8-ball. No, it is an envoy from the Prime Oracle itself. It is every color at once, and it is no color at all that has ever been described or witnessed. And the envoy from the Prime Oracle swirls, and though it has no eye, it faces Lumièra, and it says, "Greetings, Strike Team Nova. This is Envoy 2694 of the Prime Oracle. Lumièra, Fate herself, is requesting an audience with you in the Prime Oracle chamber immediately." And we're going to end the session there. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the Arc 2 Interlude, this bridge session between arcs. Wow, thank you. A big thanks especially to Zoe Williams as our special guest. I have been your game master and creative producer, Connie Chong. Pronounced thank you. You can find me across the internet at by Connie Chong. That's BYCONNIECHANG. I'm going to pass along introductions over to Val.
Hello, everybody. I'm Valiant Dorian. I use he, him, his pronouns. You can find me all on the internet, Valiant Dorian, right? Also, Spirit Bear. Please enjoy that lovely treasure I just set you on. Tonight, I had the distinct pleasure of playing your favorite Doom Boy, Seir, who uses he, they pronouns. Thank you again, Zoe, for joining us. And I'm going to pass introductions over to Kai.
Hi, everybody. I'm very shocked. I'm also Kai. I use he, they, she pronouns. You can find me all over the internet as Estella Bimladris. I'm going to be scratching my head on that one for a while. And it was a pleasure to play with Zoe and terrifying to play with Kimani. And I'm gonna bounce it on over to Sam.
Hello. I am Sam Star. I had the lovely pleasure of playing Lumièra tonight. You can catch me all across the internet at LustForLifeX, LustForLifeEX. Yeah, that was fucking horrifying, and Lumièra just got called to the principal's office. Zoe, I love you and I hate you all in one big massive ball, but it's most specifically love, and you're unhinged, and I love you to death. Thank you so much for being here. I always have a blast at a table with you. Passing it on over to Zoe.
Hi everyone, it is I, Zoe. You can find me, if you liked what I did here, then you'll love what I do everywhere else. You can find me on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, doing stuff at Radical Zoe. Thanks Transplanar for having me. Always, I love being here. I love it. I think I don't got much. I think that's everything for me, so I'll pass it back to Connie.
It's a me, Connie. Thank you so much for being here, Zoe. It was truly such a pleasure and a blast to have Kimani. I love that we introduced more questions than answers. Will we get some answers soon? Well, we'll have to keep watching the Chaos Protocol to know what the hell's happening. Thank you all so much, as our incredible audience, for tuning into the Arc 2 interlude of the Chaos Protocol. If you have been enjoying the series so far, please get in the comments and talk about us. Share a review, make tweets, make a silly little TikTok about us, tell your friends. It really helps us continue to create the kinds of stories we all care about and show sponsors that they should definitely keep paying us so we can keep making this stuff. Woo! Speaking of which, the Chaos Protocol Arc 3 is on the way. It is incubating, it's on the way, and it will premiere early November once we return from our various convention travels. In the meantime, now is a great time to catch up on the Chaos Protocol from previous arcs and watch Godkiller Last Hope, or dive into Godkiller First Blood, or even The Second Stranger, our first ever flagship campaign. Don't let recency bias win! Art is forever! Art is forever! It will never die! It will outlive us all! And thank you all so much for being here with us. Please stick around for the raid. We're going to be raiding someone really awesome right now, no doubt. Follow us on social media, all of the social medias, because we know that the Bird app is collapsing. It is truly collapsing. This is the end times for Twitter. Join the Discord if you would like. C just gave me such a look in the backstage. Maybe I shouldn't doomsay. Leave that up to Seir. And remember, everyone, trust in her will. Trust in her will.
Trust in her will.
We will be back here soon, same time, same place. Journey well, Transplaners.